I'm taking a video.
I'm gonna dash it over You want what to do?
Our house is on fire! Our house is on fire! Our house is on fire! Our house is on
More about current policies and milestones in the movement to curb climate change, your vote could become a powerful tool for change. With such a looming climate crisis, many are wondering why even bother. But this mindset of climate defeatism is just as bad as climate denialism. Something is always better than nothing. Realizing the problem and standing aside is just as bad as denying the concept of climate change itself. Although we still see strides today in youth voting, still less than 1 in 3 youth registered for the 2018 midterm, and only 50% of young adults think that the effects of climate change will happen in their lifetime. This issue will affect us if we don't stand up. So we compel all of you to go and talk to your representatives, convince your family and friends to vote, and continue affecting change. Thank you.
My name is Ash Kalra, and I'm so honored to be your assembly member, especially the young people that are here. You inspire me not just today, but every day to fight for you in Sacramento. And the fight that we're up against, as many others have said, is the fight of our lifetimes. And we recognize, or we have to recognize, that it's more than just, as Shahid said, saving the planet, because the planet is just going to be fine. It's about us and our futures, and more importantly, all of your futures. And so, when I'm fighting in Sacramento, I notice a couple of things, and it's actually connected to what I see when I'm out in the streets or out in the community fighting for environmental justice. The week after I was elected to the State Assembly, I went to Standing Rock. And it was beautiful to see the community that was there. Last year, I was in Acre, Brazil, with indigenous tribes and rubber tappers in the Amazon forest. Now, I bring those two things up because in both cases, what I saw was a military paid for by taxpayers that was protecting corporate assets. They were there to protect the fossil fuel industry. They were there to protect the government that's burning down the Amazon right now. But I say that because it's not that far removed from what's happening in California. We are a progressive state, relatively speaking, and yet we can't stop the oil drilling that's happening on our land.
Why not?
Good question, why not? The reason why we're not able to do it right at this moment is because we have corporate interests that are controlling too much of our politicians and the decisions that are made. So we know that we collectively can change that, right? But you know what? It's not easy, and it's not supposed to be easy. It's never easy. This is not about just what's happening right now. You're part of a multi-generational, centuries-long battle and struggle. Those that have the power, those that have the money, those that have the military, have always subjugated the people and the workers. That's not new, but what also is not new is that when the people rise up, they can change. They can change what's happening in the halls of power.
Power to the people.
So what's so inspiring about today and what's happening around the world, I know you've seen those pictures of Sydney, Australia, of New Delhi and Islamabad, of Brussels and Berlin, in London and New York. You're not in this just with the beautiful people around you. There are millions of beautiful people around this world that are standing up because they realize they've been played. They realize they've been taken advantage of. They realize that it's not just about environmental justice, it's about racial justice, it's about economic justice. And so, how many of you are 16 or 17 years old? All of you, you may not know this, all of you can register to vote right now. You know that? You can register to vote right now, so that the second you turn 18, you're ready to go. What's beautiful about our democracy is you don't have to vote to be active in it. That's what we see, all these 16 and 17-year-olds. You can be undocumented, it doesn't matter. You show up, you'll be heard. And so as we heard from some of your friends, yes, contact your legislators, meet with them, we work for you. And when they don't do what they're supposed to do, you hold them accountable.
Who here is of the opinion that we need to struggle to save the earth? I have an uncomfortable, rude awakening. It's not the earth that we have to worry about. The earth will be just fine. It is stronger than us, it has been here longer than us, and it will last beyond us. The question is whether or not human beings will be able to live on it.
Right.
Which is to say, just to make this concrete, when we speak of the earth, we speak of an abstract other. It is your children and your grandchildren that I am worried about, and it's why I'm running to change the voice of San Francisco and Washington from a corporate Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, to an advocate for our community. I want to unpack a couple different intersections, and I'm going to take some inspiration from a national hero of ours, Dr. Martin Luther King, who told us over 50 years ago that to stop the spiritual erosion of our country, we would have to end 3 intersecting evils, all of which are inextricably interconnected with the climate emergency. He spoke of capitalism, racism, and militarism. And I want to unpack how each of them relate. Capitalism is obvious. Yes, fossil fuel extraction companies derive their profit by preying on the public, by preying on you. Are you okay with that? The militarism angle can be easier to overlook, but don't forget what we use the criminal intelligence agency and our military-industrial complex for. Serial interventions in countries in the global south for resource plunder. What we pull out of their soil is fossil fuels. It ends up in the atmosphere every time our military-industrial complex has engaged in a resource coup. It has exacerbated the climate crisis. We cannot stop the climate crisis without unwinding our domestic military-industrial complex.
Damn right.
For our planet and standing up for our community. And we're all inspired by Greta Thunberg and by her words just this week when she testified before Congress saying, I want you to unite behind the science, and then I want you to take real action. And I know we're all thinking globally, but there's a lot of action we can take right here at home. We got a few folks from Mothers Out Front here. Can I hear from you? Mothers Out Front, thank you. A few years ago they came to City Hall and said, we want to make San Jose the largest city in the country with community choice energy. And give our residents the choice of where their electricity comes from. Saying, we want you to declare a climate emergency. And on Tuesday, the entire city council stood up and said unanimously, we have a climate emergency, it's time to act. And as a result, just a few days ago, we became the largest city in the country to ban natural gas to all new residential and municipal construction. But there's a lot more work to be done. This Saturday, we're gathering for the coastal cleanup. We're going to bring thousands of volunteers to creeks all along our city to to beautify our water and our ecosystem, we know we got to get the trash out of the creeks or else it's going to end up in the bay. So we hope you'll join us on Saturday morning for the coastal cleanup. And we got more action ahead. We got a big fight right now to preserve Coyote Valley against development. And I hope in a few weeks we're going to be able to tell you that we have a deal to buy thousands of acres in Coyote Valley, protect Coyote Valley for future generations. We're going to need to hear your voice in City Council to move full speed ahead. Because one thing is true, it's what Margaret Mead said decades ago. Never doubt that a few committed people can change the world, because that's the only thing that ever has. Thank you all.
This is what democracy looks like.